So excited for you to start this next week where we'll be addressing the first nutritional key when it comes to making any body transformation. And what I've found through my experience was that it all comes down to four main factors that hold people back from reaching the success that they want to see. And this is the number one factor, or the first one in those four, and that is protein. Now, what exactly is protein, right? Protein is a macronutrient. Most foods that we have are broken down into a combination of three macronutrients: fat, carbohydrates, and protein. And protein is comprised of 4 calories per gram. So now that we got the scientific jargon over with, right? Why is it important? So protein is super important when it comes to basically any function in your body, right? From your cells to your hormones to your muscle to even your hair, right? And if you didn't get enough protein for a long enough time, you would eventually not only go into malnutrition, but you would have complications from that, and then you could die, right? So protein is very, very important. And why it's important when it comes to a body transformation is a couple different things here. So the first piece is thermal effective food, or TEF, which is often called for short. And that basically tells you how much energy does it take for the body to break down a certain macronutrient. So for example, if you're having carbohydrates, right? Your body is pretty efficient at breaking that down. It doesn't expend a lot of energy to do so. But when it comes to protein, your body uses about 25% of those calories that you're intaking just to break it down into the smallest building blocks, which are amino acids, so that your body can utilize them where they need them, like your muscle or your hormones or your cells, one of those things that we talked about before. So basically what that means is if you're having 100 calories worth of protein, 25 of those calories, right, 25% of those are going to be used up. So you can easily get yourself into a calorie deficit by still eating enough food, right? Or eating food in general. A lot of people feel like they need to be putting themselves on a super low calorie diet, which means less and less food, because a lot of us are eating more processed stuff and they're hungry all the time. But protein, right, like I said, will put you naturally into that calorie deficit. It'll allow you to eat more food, as well as it keeps you satisfied longer, right? Because it takes time for your body to break it down and digest it. So it'll spend more time in your stomach, which means it'll keep you feeling satisfied, fuller for longer. And we all want that, right? Number 2, we're talking about the metabolism. So a lot of you guys may have already heard, right, that protein is key when it comes to keeping your metabolism revved high or running at a high level. And this kind of breaks down into a couple different things. A lot of times when we're on a low calorie diet, or we're on a diet where we're aiming to lose fat, we're dropping our calories a little bit, right? And I'm not going to let you drop them too low, but we're putting you in a little bit of a deficit. But what ends up happening is your body is an organism, right? It is an organism that is fighting against all the factors and all the odds to stay alive, right? That's its only thing. It doesn't know that you're just kind of trying to lose a little weight for the summer or trying to get a little bit leaner, and that everything's going to be okay. You're not going to die, right? And you'll be able to go back to eating a little bit more normal or for maintenance in a few days or a few weeks or a few months, right? Your body doesn't know that. All it knows is there's not enough food here, right? We're expending a lot of calories. We're not taking in as much as we're expending, which is what we want to do to lose fat. But oftentimes, if we're not getting enough protein, it's going to get rid of the thing that's the most expensive first. So if you think of your body as muscle being expensive, meaning it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of calories just to have muscle on your body, while fat, right, though it takes a little bit of energy, it doesn't take as much, right? In order for fat to pay rent on your body, it's super cheap, while muscle, it's super expensive. So what your body wants to do is it's going to start to get rid of the muscle, right? Because remember, it's having to expend a lot of energy to keep that muscle mass. And that's often what happens when people go on super low calorie diets, is they drop their calories super low. Protein's one of the first things to go, because if you're staying in 1,000 calories and you're still eating kind of processed stuff or foods that you really enjoy, but all you're worried about is your calories, that's going to go, because you'd rather have the cookies or the ice cream or the crackers or the sandwiches, right? And that's when the protein drops down. The muscle starts to be used up, right, because it needs to go first according to your body. And that though you'll lose weight, you might not have the body you looking for, right? There's a lot of people that say, I've lost weight, but I feel like I look fluffier, or I don't feel as toned or defined. So muscle is the key to looking toned, defined, and having a nice kind of shape to you. So the other piece of that, right, is building and maintaining muscle. So in order for us to maintain muscle, I think of the body like a pool. So if your body has a pool full of amino acids, which are the smallest building blocks of protein, your body is constantly drawing from that pool. Whether you're training, right, or not training that day, it's always drawing from it, because remember, almost everything in your body utilizes protein. And if you're not actively filling back up that pool can go empty very quickly, and that's when we kind of get into that trouble of, I might start burning muscle now instead of the fat that I want to burn. So to make sure that you're maintaining your muscle mass, especially with your training program, I want you to make sure you're getting enough protein in this next week, and I'll break it down further into, okay, what exactly is the portion sizes for me? How do I make it quick and easy so that I'm not having to track things or write things down, and I can still be successful and go out. So hope that helped clear it up a little bit. I hope you're fired up to be including some more protein in your diet, and now you're excited about protein and all the possibilities and the things that it can do to help transform your body.